Hello, my name is James Thorpe and I'm the Managing Editor of International Security Journal. Delighted to be here today on the Hirsch stand at ISC West 2026 in Las Vegas, speaking with CEO Mark Allen. Enjoy the video. So, Mark, can we start by just talking a little bit about what's new from you guys at ISC West 2026 here in Las Vegas?
That sounds great. Yeah, that's the reason why we're here.
Yeah.
We're focusing on our unified solutions on this show. As you know, over the last year or so, Hirsch has gone through a lot of changes. We've merged a lot of companies into one company, and there's a lot of technology that we're bringing together as one unified solution. So what we're showing here is kind of our conceptual version of Velocity One. Where we see us going is having a one platform. Dealers, customers, anybody will log into the same platform. Dealers will get their partner portal and their list of users and who they're selling to. And if customers log in, they'll go right to their access control products or their video products. So whatever they purchase, they'll log right in and they'll start using their products. So unified solutions is kind of where we're going, and all the integrations between all of those great products.
Fantastic. And obviously when we look at that customer piece there, how are you, in practical terms, making security stronger but also more manageable for those partners you're with and those customers as well?
Yeah, it's a challenge, and it's one of the challenges that a lot of our customers deal with every single day. They've got these disparate systems. They'll have video management systems and access control systems, and when one thing happens on one, they've got to figure out how to go see how that happened on another. What we're doing by unifying these solutions, we're bringing them both together, making them simple to go and find. One versus the other. 1 + 1 actually does make 3 in this situation. Along with that, we're doing a lot of other things. We're kind of in the age of cybersecurity. Hirsch has got a big federal background. It's been doing federal for many, many years. We've been doing FISMA, Federal Information Security Management Act, for many years. And that really is cybersecurity. It's securing data in transit, and in place with high security solutions. So we also bring that to the pie. So we have unified solutions built on a really solid cybersecurity background.
Yeah, fantastic. And that's so imperative these days, as we all know. And one thing I want to touch on is obviously you talk about bringing those brands together as well in terms of your own growth as a business. You've obviously got so much expertise at the table and in your conversations. So with that in mind, as you look at the industry and in the access space, but also maybe in the cyber space as well and beyond, what kind of trends are you seeing? What are you mapping right now, and what are your focuses for this year?
Wow, yeah. A great question. There's a lot happening. Obviously, the number one thing to talk about there is AI, right? It is all around us. It has been happening for a couple of years, and it's happening from the edge all the way into the core of the solutions. We see edge technology happening in the cameras. So now you get analytics right down at the camera edge. But you can still configure that from your VMS solution, which is amazing. We're seeing AI in the form of facial authentication out at the edge. So we're not only seeing it in the VMS area, we're seeing it in the access control area. So there's some really convenient ways for us to open a door. The perfect kind of access control experience is be able to walk to a door, it sees your face and it opens. Well, we have that now, and that's all AI that's helping us get there. As you drill further back into the applications, you've got large language models that's helping us do forensics and search. So inside of these VMS systems, you don't now click on icons to say, find people going left this way with a green t-shirt. Now you type in, I want to find somebody who looks like this, is eating burgers, and is dropping cheese on the floor. It can find that now because very, very specific. And then as you reach even further back into all of our companies, we're all adapting AI in our back office systems as well. All of my employees are using they're using AI in the form of Copilot with all of their emails. So as they're writing emails or responding to emails, we're becoming more responsive. We're now, it's changing kind of how people work. They're no longer doing the heavy lift. AI is doing the heavy lift for them, and we're just authorizing what the AI is creating for us. So massive changes there. R&D, 90% of our R&D, all of our QA is done through AI. About 30% of the solutions that we're delivering today with our 391 is written by AI, and I expect that to go up very quickly in the next 6 months. So the adoption is crazy. So it's changing us completely. We're buying solutions, Salesforce Cloud with the Einstein plugin, which allows us to know how to do the sales part of it. It's everywhere. It's so AI big, mobile really big, mobile credentials, and then cloud. And then I'm talking about one extra thing that we see happening here: cybersecurity. It's on everybody's tongue. It's on everybody's mind. We have to keep it in mind. And what we're doing about that is we're putting in a cybersecurity chip at the panel level. So we're using a product called VitaCore. It is a bottom-up design chip that has GPIOs on it that it can spot. If somebody's trying to break into our code at the hardware level, it will do one of three things. It can destroy itself, take off all the code whatsoever. It can reset itself to factory defaults. Yeah. And it can definitely notify the head end that something's happening with the cybersecurity. So it has all of that features built in.
Oh, well, it's interesting as well. I mean, obviously, where you have your role in the physical space, it's refreshing to hear those insights. Also, making the cyber imperative because it is so critical, as we know. If we touch on the kind of the unified offering specifically, I just want to dive into how that's solving some maybe more specific challenges for some of the customers you work with. What's the advantage of having that unified ecosystem?
Yeah. If I could use an example for that, is actually the best way to describe it. With disparate systems, you'll have security officers doing functionality on two systems instead of one, right? So, and I'll use an example of something that happens every single week. Every security officer is going to say, yep, I get that request every day. A department head will come to them and say, I want to know what Tyler did today, right? Tyler went bad. Tyler's acting funny. Tyler's doing something crazy. And so the security officer will be asked, well, do me a favor, show me what Tyler did today. Yeah. And with two systems, what happens is they'll do a transaction log on their access control, find all of the Tyler access grants.
And the whole life cycle, basically.
And then they'll match that to video. They'll put the video, the report together, and sure enough, it's a day and a half later, you get a report. And that security officer doing that day and a half, putting that report together, is not watching logs, is not watching problems. They're doing this report. With a unified solution, there's one button. I find Mark Allen, I find Tyler, I hit give me an access log, and boom, I've got a PDF report of every access transaction, and then the GIFs, the video clips, right next to each one of what happened to Tyler as he was going through your building. I mean, what's better than that? A 2-minute report versus a day and a half of taking your screen.
Absolutely. And you have the whole identity then, basically, and you see it in action rather than just getting a metric which has no context as well.
Absolutely.
That's really interesting. And just finally, what's on the horizon for you guys this year and beyond? Obviously, we look at some of your recent developments and your growth as a business. What can we expect to see for the rest of the year?
Oh my gosh. We're kind of debuting it here a little bit. We're talking about, which is that Velocity One concept. And I kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier. We're trying to bring all of our solutions together under one platform, and we're going to call it Velocity One. Basically, anybody that deals with Hirsch will log into the Velocity One platform. And if you're a dealer, if you're an A&E consultant, if you're a customer, it's the same login. You go to the same place. If you're a dealer, you get a list of all of your registered users that you have, that we know that you currently work with. All of your opportunities, your documentation, everything that you use on a daily basis will be right there in one spot for you. If you're a customer and you log in, you're going to go right to whatever you've purchased from us. Yeah. If you're in access control, you'll get the access control screen up. If you've bought perimeter, you'll get the perimeter configuration screen up. So it will take you to exactly where you need to be for the things that you're using.
And again, it's that convenience piece, isn't it, really? And just building that whole chain. Absolute pleasure, buddy. Thank you for speaking with me today.
Thank you so much. It was great to chat with you.